They'll never take me alive, I'm getting high with my profile. Cops only suffer from a die, even as a youngster. Causing ruckus on the back of the bus. I was a fool all through high school, kicking up dust. But now I'm labeled as a troublemaker. Who can you blame? Smoking weed up, we take away the pain. So I'm hopeless, rolling down the freeway, swerving. Don't worry, I'm about to crash upon the curb. Cause my business bloody, baby, if they try to understand me. What should I do? I had to feed my fucking family. What else could I do but be a thug? I'm slanging with the homies, fuck hanging with them phonies in the club. Got my mind on danger, never been a stranger to homicide. My city's full of gangbangers and drive-bys. Why do we die at an early age? He was so young, but still a victim of the 12 gauge. I'm memories of a corpse, mind full of sick thoughts, and I ain't going back to court. So fuck what you thought. I'm drinking Hennessy, running from my enemies. When I live a beat 23, there's so much pain.
And they all shouted. They were one. They were one. One party.
Probably 20 million people. And you know, that's a little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old. And if you want to really see something that's sad, take a look at what happened.
God says, once you recognize the man that I have raised up, pray. For the enemy will do everything in his power to put a witch in the White House. Amongst them stood one that God had set aside to be the leader of this nation. These that shall reject him shall be shocked at how he takes the giant down.
Welcome in. How is everybody this Saturday night? It's already Saturday night. That means I've only got like maybe 30 hours left off before I have to go back and start the new week. But that's okay. We get to spend it together. Hey, everybody. Hey, Jen. Hey, Georgia boy. Good to see you. Miss Amy. Miss Christy. Hey, Grandma. How are you? I appreciate you guys being here. Hey, T Fields. Good to see you. Hey, Mary Wayne. Rain. Is that Mary Rain? Good to see you. Welcome. Well, Trump had his first rally today. Oh, before I do that, I'm going to show you the hat. We need to get the hat out there. Everybody, go to dacustoms.com, www.dacustoms.com. Call 781-389-8179, and there you can get this.
I think it's time to fight back. No, they won't like that. Everywhere is somewhere, and that's where the fight's at. I think it's time to fight back. No, they won't like.
Go get your voting felon 2024. We have special guests with us tonight. Everyone, welcome Gravel. He's here. I promise you he's here. He's just doing his thing. He'll be back in. But good to see you. Hey, T. Good to see you. I come across this video, And this was Trump's first rally in 7 days since his attempted assassination. That takes some major balls and faith to truly be like, okay, I'm going to get back up. I'm going to do this. And I mean, he went to the RNC. I mean, he never missed a beat. Such strength and resilience this man has shown. But as Air Force One took off to go where it needed to go, this is what air traffic control did.
Shot. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. Trump Force One, contact departure.
Trump Force One to departure. Thank you for that, sir.
They prayed for him before they left. God bless. You gonna tell me that man ain't loved? That man isn't respected? Heck yeah, he is. Hey, Gravel, welcome in. I told him, I said, he'll show up. He'll be back. That's what I told everybody. I said, he'll be back. How are you doing?
Just getting the kids settled in. Take your country.
You're fine. You're fine. I told you do what you need to do, and then you come back through. And then you just come on right back. But yeah, tonight was his first rally since last week. Let's take a listen to one thing he had to say.
With a very special thanks to Americans nationwide, including all of you here today, for your extraordinary outpouring of love and support in the wake of the horrific last Saturday event. And when you think of it, it was exactly 1 week ago today, almost to the hour, even to the minute. Yeah. Incredible. What a day it was. As I said earlier this week, I stand before you only by the grace of Almighty God. That's true. I shouldn't be here. I shouldn't be here.
Wow. Powerful, powerful, powerful. I've seen such a difference in him in this, since the attempted assassination on his life last week. I've seen such a difference this last week with that scowl that he used to have a lot. I haven't seen that. I mean, it's just like it's gone.
He was okay. So the A attempt happened, then he did the RNC, and then watching him tonight. He is on fire now. He is on fire. I mean, I was like, holy! I mean, he was off teleprompter. I think for most of it, except for maybe the names.
Right.
And I understand that, but he was on fire. I watched 98% of it.
Uh-huh.
He was on fire. I mean, I was like, damn, that's
I had another one I was going to play. I just don't know if it came through on my email just yet because I have to let everything load on my email and then come back and forth. No, that was
Hey, Fields, and hey, commenters, good to see you guys. Good to be up in Country's show and compliment her as a guest.
Absolutely. You're such a good co-host. You really are. I enjoy it. You have a lot to offer. Let's take a look at his entrance tonight. Wow, that is so powerful. I mean, he didn't miss a beat. He didn't miss a step. He just kept going.
He lit it up. I mean, he lit it up.
Uh-huh.
And I can understand that because I'm just guessing, but I think in his mind, his family's mind,
Right.
they didn't want him to get hurt. Right. I think that once they had that feeling of security,
Yes.
He knew. He's like, I'm going back to DJ, Donald John Trump.
He dominated.
Now I'm. It's almost like I don't want to say he's mad or angry or anything like that, but I think he's probably pretty upset. Like somebody tried to take me out. You know, and I'm gonna fight back.
Right.
You know what? Does that make sense, country? I'm not saying
absolutely. You can either let a situation in a moment in time that terrorized you, and I'm sure he was terrorized. Who wouldn't be? You know, he can either allow that to consume him. It's up to you in which direction you go. He could have faltered, which is what they was hoping. First, they was hoping he would be dead, plain and simple. They didn't expect this. They didn't expect what God can do because they're evil people. But God showed them. He showed them. I don't like saying show out because God's always there, but he did show up and he showed them. He just showed them exactly the power he has and what he is capable of doing. And he's such a resilient man. I mean, he could have tucked tail and hid, but that's not Trump. I don't care. I think if there was someone standing there with a gun in his face, he would freaking tell him to pull the fucking trigger. I do. I believe he would. I believe he would sit there and he would go to that extreme. I mean, he would want it to happen, but he's tough. He's tough. He is. He's tough.
And you can see the support behind him.
Absolutely.
Behind him in the stands. There's some rumors going around. There was only like 1,000 people there or whatever. That stadium right now, and a lot of that's already been debunked, but in case anybody hears it, that stadium holds 12,000 people, up to 13, and it was standing room only. And there were people outside. I don't know how many people were outside.
You talking about this rally?
This rally.
Well, let me show you. Let me show you a few
Okay,
things.
go ahead. Yeah,
I'll
please.
show you a few things on this one, dear. This is going to be good.
Interject, if you would turn off those cameras because I don't want this. See the screen up there of me? That's very severe, that comb over. That's a severe sucker. What's with that one? It looks okay from the other side. But that is very severe. I apologize.
Oh,
Man, I looked up there. I said, whoa. Look at that. Wow. That's like a work of art. Only look at that one. Don't look. That one looks.
only look at that one. Don't look at this one. I'm fixed to load this other one that I had. Anyway, I'll load it, but we'll do it. But yeah, he's so resilient. He's not allowing what happened to control him to where he's afraid. You know, he could just hide. They were hoping he'd hide out. And I'm going to get that one where it has the people. People were there a day early, 8 hours early. It was packed. It was packed.
I heard on Newsmax, so today is Saturday. I heard people were actually showing up as early as Thursday. That's what I heard. I don't have a receipt, but I that was on Newsmax.
Well,
They said there were people out on Thursday, but man, that video you just showed, country, he's like defiant. He's like, go ahead, try it. You know, I mean, he is the original. He is the OG.
He is, and he's just showing such power that we all have, and we have it within us that we could be using. You know, he hasn't faltered. He just, I haven't seen fear. I'm sure, you know, he's man, and yes, you will fear certain things, but I don't know. There's such a change in him that I've seen it. I've seen it throughout the week at the RNC. No matter what they've thrown at him, and now they're trying to downplay it and say, well, he didn't have any stitches. Okay, people. What you should be focusing on is not that he had a stitch or not. First off, the bullet went straight through the ear from one little corner to the other. The thing you should be focusing on is God's intervention, what God did. Why would he do that for this man? And if you watch, let's see, we've got a 3D. We have a 3D version of this. It's a better version that I've seen. Here we go. Watch this.
Here we're going to focus in on. Here you can see the 3 victims that were injured by gunfire and where they were standing in the bleachers. We're going to turn around and demonstrate exactly where these bullets came from. This model represents Thomas Crooks. His position can be seen here in this image, which illustrates exactly where he was. Turning around, we can see the path of all the bullets that were fired from this location. I placed a 10-foot red disc downrange to represent what an average shooter could hit easily. Now let's take a look at this first shot fired. Coming from our key location, bullet 1 grazes President Trump's ear. This is the same bullet that hits a spectator in the stands. We know this through video evidence. As President Trump is talking, the first shot rings out just after he says, "Take a look at what happened."
Something that said, "Take a look at what happened."
We can see the vapor trail of a bullet strike, which is the same bullet that struck President Trump's ear a split second earlier, and this video is this location here. Back at the podium, President Trump is shot and grabs his ear, falling to the ground as more shots rang out. In total, there were 7 or 8 shots, so let's rewind and watch this at regular speed.
Take a look at what happened.
With all that gunfire, it's easy to understand how these spectators were injured, even though they were not the target, including the sole spectator who lost his life that day. As we circle around, we can see how all the paths of the bullets were hitting in the location of this forklift machine, causing one of the hydraulic hoses to burst.
Wow. What got me on this when I actually saw this, I was like, if you saw how the bullets were coming, he went down and lifted his arm, one went and one did get the vest. But when he went down, did you see the bullets that were still going right by it? Didn't touch him. God had a hedge of protection around him that could not be infiltrated, could not been penetrated at all. And that's what I was looking at. He laid there. He knew, and you know, that was probably the best thing he could have done, went straight down. But think about it. He lifted his arm. When he lifted his arm like this, another one went underneath. Everything at that moment in time, precisely was done. And it angers me. It does. And I don't like having anger. I don't know if that's the word I want to use, but I am very concerned. I mean, I know God's in control, but I know they won't stop at anything.
I mean, country, I do think this is very spiritual. The fact that he turned his head like that right at that moment or in that second,
No explanation.
It's like godly. It's like spiritual.
Yes.
You know, and there was some guy, I was in TikTok live earlier, not yours, but there was some guy, he was trying to explain ballistics and blah, blah, blah. He said he was in the Air Force like I was. Then he ran because I was getting, one of my fellow creators was bringing me up and they're like, well, why don't you actually talk to a guy who's, you know, in the Air Force, you know, so on and so forth. And, you know, we do the chair force, the Marine Corps, the Army, the Navy, you know, so on and so forth. We make fun of each other. But I was like, this guy was saying he was a ballistics expert. And he was like, well, you know, the way it spins off the dial and it comes out of the barrel and the wind and everything else. I'm like, no, not at all. I mean, maybe if you're, maybe I would give him credit if it was like a mile and a half, 2 miles, mile and a half, probably, you know, something like that. 150 yards. That's a football field. I got to my sons, when they're with me, but when they target practice, they do that at about that distance, a little bit less, but they do that at about that distance, you know. And this Democrat thing, and this is my point. This Democrat thing, like he missed, or he shouldn't have missed, or I wish he would have sighted his scope earlier.
Or some are saying it didn't even happen. It was a setup, that this was all just a propaganda setup. Oh my God, that just infuriates me.
Yeah, Jenna, you're right. And that's what I keep trying to tell people. I mean, I think we need to just let the Democrat Party, I don't even call them, actually, I'm getting to the point now. I don't, with the exception of the last 4 years,
right?
This is not the Democrat Party I grew up with. You know, I mean, you know, country, I've said on your lives before, I mean, I don't think anybody knew who voted for who, and you didn't really talk about it. You still had your barbecues and your swimming parties.
Well, and sometimes people betted on it as a fun thing. You know what I'm saying? It was all in humor, and never like this, never like cutthroat. Damn it, it's going to be this way. You will actually lose family members and friends that you've known for many years over this. But see, since this is a spiritual warfare, Satan is within this division. You see, you got spiritual warfare. You got to think that evil warfare is there too, and it's very powerful. That's why they say have your armor of God on, because you're going to have fiery darts at you continuously. Here's the video I was looking for. I finally got it to load. This was right outside. People were getting there, like you said, days early. I know they were there the night before, and 8 hours early. And the thing that got me, okay, that just blows me away. But the thing that got me, they didn't get afraid. They're not afraid. When these shots went off, I was thinking about this earlier.
That was, let me clarify. That was today?
That was today.
Okay.
What gets me is that when these shots went off, and I know a lot of people thought they were fireworks, so they really didn't run or nothing. But once the gunfire was found out, everyone was still in their space, in their spot. I mean, some were kind of moving around, but that could have turned into a huge stampede. I think Trump talked about this on the RNC the other night in his speech. That could have turned out, and I think that's what they were betting on. The more I think about it, they were betting on people up running around, and that would have been more target practice for them and more fatalities. But God was in control that day, not only with Trump, but every single person that was there. Even the ones who lost their life, they were in this world to do what they were meant to do, because God is at the end of the day in control, and he knows our appointed time of when we will be leaving this earth, and no one else will. So I'm sorry that happened to Corey. I know he was a father of 2 girls and a husband. Would still pray for the family and the other ones that got injured. I'm thankful they are still alive and healing. But this could have turned into, I'll say it, I'll keep saying it. This was going to be the 9/11. This was going to be the 9/11 of 2024. They were going to use Trump himself, get rid of him. And at the same time, they were going to have mass casualties with the what? That particular rifle, that weapon. So in turn, they would be able to push their agenda. They would have got rid of Trump. And they also would have been able to continuously push the agenda of the guns. I believe they were going to use this particular moment as a huge, it isn't just about Trump. I believe they were truly going to make this so many casualties, because we still don't know how many shooters there was. I do have a 4-minute video to where they have proof that there was more than one shooter. And the 911 call we played last night. Let's play it again. Let me get it. We'll play
Hey,
it
Country,
again.
real quick, can I say something about what
Absolutely.
you just said?
Yeah, go ahead.
You know, if you lose a loved one, I think it's my younger sister. This was back in the late 90s. She passed away in a car accident. But it's called the 10 stages of grief, the 12 stages of grief. I can't remember the name, but you go through like disillusionment, and don't quote me here, but anger, grief, sadness, whatnot. And like when I was on your TikTok live last night, I'm kind of where you are. Like, I'm pretty upset about this. I'm upset that my children witnessed that. Being innocent children, even though they're teenagers, I'm upset that they witnessed that. That's kind of where I'm at. So I understand the anger part of it, because I think that's kind of where I'm at. I went through this once a long time ago, but.
Well, the head of Secret Service, I can't never pronounce her name. I can't. How do you pronounce her name? Cheetle.
Cheetle.
She is resigning come Monday morning.
So you heard that?
Yes. Very good sources have been coming out with it. I know 2 days ago and the other day she said she would not be resigning, but I've got information that she will be resigning by Monday morning. But she's supposed to go in front of the committee. You're muted, I think, or something. You're muted. Muted.
I was just saying, she probably, if that's true, she probably doesn't want to speak under oath.
Well, that would probably be a good idea, because she would incriminate herself and do some serious jail time. But let's just say she was working under the authority of someone else and was following orders. Then that person needs to be pulled in and held accountable. This could have been prevented, and this could have turned into something worse. But like I said, I believe there was more than one shooter. Let's listen to one in the 911 calls.
Shots fired towards the blue water tank. That's right.
I got one down on the inside. Medical crew, get in command. Chief 12-3, let me know what you need.
All EMS crews, get inside buildings. Stay secure inside buildings.
Total 1 to all units, be advised, we're evacuating. Stay inside the building. We're evacuating the crowd.
Copy. Crowd is evacuating.
All units operating Butler Farm Show grounds. Facilities on lockdown. Everyone stay inside. Operations on fire up 6. All units operating Butler Farm Show grounds. Facilities on lockdown. Everyone stay inside. Operations on fire up 6.
EMT Caldwell to any Quantaquanting units. I have 2 in the bus.
She had 2 in the woods. Now, this is from a very good news source. I watch them a lot, and they're right on point. We can't never play any of these videos on TikTok or other platforms because they take us down every time. They've put a great video together to where people can understand it. So let's take a look.
Historically, government assassinations are often carried out with a patsy to take the fall and a professional or team of professionals to execute the target. This ensures success and gives the appearance that there was no conspiracy. It all gets blamed on a mentally disturbed lone gunman. But the alleged would-be Trump assassin was willing to go on a suicide mission. It was an easy shot, and he had at least 5 years of marksmanship training. The independent work of Asget Industries shows how our young suicide assassin could have been the lone gunman. But she is restricted to using the limited information we have gotten. According to the sound analysis of Mike Adams, there were at least 3 shooters.
I think round 1 is probably Crooks. Round 2 is Crooks. Round 3 is Crooks. I think these 3 rounds are Crooks. It's my guess. Rounds 4 and 5 are from the same distance as Crooks, but they are not Crooks. I think rounds 4 and 5, right here. I think rounds 4 and 5 are from a rogue Secret Service team in the building that Crooks was on top of. So that's my guess. Round 6 is from medium range sniper. Round 7 is long range sniper.
Several witnesses that day claimed that there was a second shooter in the water tower.
And I just screamed, it's the sniper, and he was firing down toward the water tower.
That's what we're hearing. Fox News live streamed the following testimony, but omitted it from final edits.
Fence where the other shooter was. There was one I heard in the water tower. There was one by the fence. And still, obviously, initial reports.
NBC live streamed the following testimony of a woman who was in the front row.
He could see the sharpshooter on the behind Trump. He said the sharpshooter shot to the left. He killed the gentleman in the water tower here.
And omitted the following from the final edit.
Now they feel that there was 2 shooters on both sides. So they got the one on the tower on this side, but the one on the right side they never got. So that's why they wanted us to leave immediately, because they thought there's still a shooter out there somewhere. I'm glad that guy's no longer with us anymore in that tower. And I hope they get the other one too.
Images of the water tower show a shadow at the very top. Frame-by-frame analysis shows what could be described as muzzle flash or the reflection of a scope lens. Before any shots were fired, police were seen running towards the water tower.
Oh, wow. Where are they running to?
Multiple shooters makes more sense, but then how did they miss? Many are insisting that it was a staged event to inflame Trump's popularity.
We still don't know for sure whether Donald Trump was hit by a bullet, whether he was hit by glass fragments, whether he was hit by shrapnel. We don't have those details. We actually have no details from his physician, even though this man is still a Secret Service protected, and presidential candidate. We know almost nothing. Why? Why don't we know that much? We don't know why for 9 full seconds Donald Trump was allowed to stand back up during an active shooter situation, even though they at that point had said the shooter was down. How would they have known if there were more shooters or not? Nobody knew that there could have been 5 shooters for all they knew. Yet they allowed him to stand up in the middle of that, crisis and pose for a photo and fist pump the air so he could get the iconic photo. And then they allowed him to stand up again outside of the SUV instead of just shoving him into the SUV. That seems really unusual. What is the actual injury to Donald Trump's ear that's under that bandage? Shouldn't we know that by now?
If it was fake, it was a flawless performance. And if it was authentic, it was not only sloppy, it was a millimeter away from chaos. Either way, Trump is now seen by many religious people as being ordained by God, and by others as being the Antichrist, who believers have been expecting to survive an assassination attempt. Reporting for InfoWars, this is Greg Reese.
Wow. I love that video. That kind of broke it down a little bit. Go ahead, grab it.
Yeah, freaking Joy Reid.
She is a pain in my ass. She is a great.
Can I give Country? I'm going to ask a question. I know you let me do this the other day, and you approved it. I'll show you my AR.
Go ahead.
Scoped. Are you okay with that? Okay.
Yes, I'm fine with that.
So,
Let's go. Let's go
Okay.
with it.
So here is an AR-15. This is unloaded. Everything's safe. Up top here is the scope, because I started hearing something about this yesterday or today. So I can sight that scope to like 10, 20, 15, 25, right? So that's what this thing looks like. Unloaded, it's about 15 pounds. So you can see it, right?
Correct.
The reason I'm trying to provide context, I don't understand how a 20-year-old who probably didn't weigh more than 110 pounds got on a roof with something like this.
Right.
Because that's what they're claiming it is. I know it's kind of blurring out because of my background, but
Yeah, it's okay. We get the idea of it.
let me
There you
put
go.
it back like that.
How long is one of those? What's the length? Do you know?
Let's see. This one is about 17 inches.
Okay.
So if I was walking around with it, again, context. If you're telling me, so that's what it looks like, right? And notice my finger's not on the trigger. I'm walking around with this, scoped out and everything. Not you, but you're telling me some kid walked around with something like this and nobody caught it?
But listen, an hour before, I showed a video the other night. An hour before Trump even spoke, he was standing outside that building, no weapon in his hand, no ladder in his hand.
Right. So I'll stop showing my AR. I just wanted to give some.
You're fine. Go ahead. You're
so
fine.
everybody can understand. And when you sight the scope, you actually I scope at 25 feet to begin with. When I get a new scope or I get a new gun. So I scope at like 25 feet and then I kind of adjust from there, I'll say. I mean, I'm not like some extreme professional or anything like that, but it works for me. I kind of just I do it my own way. Very safe, all that. But I just don't understand, like, how could a kid get up there with an arm like this, scoped out, and nobody noticed it?
And crawling, getting up the building, because see, the building had the slope. You had the one building here with windows, and they said people were actually in that window. There are reports coming out now that people were actually in that window, watched him do this, and did nothing.
I mean, the AR I just showed you, it's not heavy to me, but like if it was my kid, it's a heavy weapon.
Yeah, I mean, you're in a crowded area where there's a ex-president, possible future president, and you couldn't say nobody know. They only noticed him when he was on the roof. Come on, he didn't.
And that's my point, and that's what I wanted to give context to your show, was that I'm just not buying any of it. The whole oh yeah, he just walked up onto a roof 150 meters away.
Murray Raines says that she read that it was disassembled in a backpack. I didn't even see a backpack on the boy when he was standing there. Nothing. He was actually standing there, and at one point he looks around and he looks right, and he's just standing there. That's it. Nothing in his hands, nothing on his back, nothing at all.
And you know what? That's actually a good question. And I'm not denying that, Mariel, you heard that. But to disassemble this thing, not only to disassemble it,
right,
but to reassemble it, like let's say you're cleaning it, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's like a hour, 2 hours, depends on how good you are, and if you got all your kit on you and whatnot. But that's it's not,
It doesn't make sense. If it doesn't make sense, then it's
right.
untrue. It just doesn't make sense. And they can put what little stories they want here and there with it. This was an inside job. This was already pre-created. Everything was already set up, I believe. And I'm going to tell you, on that water tower, when the first time I watched it, if you watch it without blowing up or anything, if you wait a minute after the shots are fired, you will see something drop like it's repelling. And it drops. And I thought, wait a minute, I just saw something black drop. The person was repelling from the top of that. That's the only way they would have gotten down or gotten up. But let's take a look at something real quick. I think Rebel put this in here for me a minute ago. Let's see. What does it take to repel, and how long does it take to do that? You guys are gangster. Y'all put so much stuff in here. It's hard to catch up with it. But, well, I know I saw it. I'll have to go back and find it because they put so many stories in here. Here we go. Let's watch this.
Operator, think you got what it takes to get on top of this slightly sloped roof? Well, we've got a career opportunity for you. The Secret Service is recruiting operators for its new sloped roof division. For too long, bad guys have been getting away due to the Secret Service's inability to get onto slightly sloped surfaces. That ends now. Slightly sloped roofs are the most dangerous obstacles our agents face on a daily basis. That's why the Secret Service is forming an elite force of ninjas capable of climbing onto the most treacherous roofs with a 2%, sometimes even a 3% slope. Let's hear a word from Secret Service Director Kimberly Cheadle about the dangers of these slightly sloped roofs.
Has a sloped roof at its highest point. And so, there's a safety factor that would be considered there, that we wouldn't want to put somebody up on a sloped roof.
Do you have what it takes to join this elite team? Apply now and become part of the Secret Service's sloped roof division.
Rebel, I thought that was actually going to teach you how to rappel off a damn roof. You got it that way. Guys, I never know what these people send me.
The left is so crazy, and I love that video. That was actually very funny.
Oh my God.
Rappelling. I'm not a repeller. I mean, I know what rappelling is. I do rock climb, but I don't know. This whole thing is just so jacked. I mean,
it is.
I could come in when I was flying. I can come in at like a 70-degree angle and I get clearance and whatnot. I sent you a video kind of to talk about deconfliction. It's up to you if you want to show it, but
where did you send it to?
Your text.
You gotta get.
It's not me. It's not me in the video. It's actually one of my buddies. I can do it for you.
I wish you could send it to my Telegram because it's harder. It doesn't have good quality when you send it text message. So if you can go to the Telegram and just put it in, place it in there, then I can download it and pull it quickly.
I don't have Telegram yet, but I'll get it.
Right.
If that makes it easier.
Yeah, I'll work on it. Go ahead.
Now that you're hosting this great show, but
thank you.
Yeah, I'm not a sniper either, for the record. But the whole, some of this stuff is getting so absurd.
It is.
It's just absurd. I mean, I'm telling you.
Well, let's take a moment.
Go ahead.
Where'd that video go? Josh Hawley, Hawley, we were talking about him last night, how he had whistleblowers come in and everything, and that were willing to testify and they'd be safe. Well, he actually went to the fairgrounds.
You can see behind me, this is the roof the shooter was on. It is a very low roof, and it is very close to the fairground. I mean, it's right here. The president's stage was right over there, 150 yards or something away. And it's no wonder people could see him because this roof is low. This building is really close in and it's totally exposed. I mean, right where I'm standing, there were gobs of people. So it's no wonder that lots of folks saw him. The question is, why didn't law enforcement see him get on the roof? Why didn't they see him on the roof? Why didn't they go up and confront him before he started shooting or before he got on the roof when he was all in this area? it's so close together. It's hard to understand.
Wow. Grapple, I think I can pull that video real quick. The one you're just talking about. And it is
Yeah, it's a little bit long. You don't have to play the whole thing, but I can kind of just narrate it for you the couple minutes.
Sure.
Because it's talking about deconfliction, and that almost actually goes in line with the video you just sent. Because there you go. That's
We're
it.
good. Okay. I will get this up and running. Give me 1 minute.
Now, if I say pause, if I say pause, I'm not directing you because it's your show, but if I hear something, I'll say pause before you start playing it. I'll say pause and I'll try to explain it.
Well, I'm sneaking off to the bathroom in the midst of this for a second because I really got to go to the bathroom. So if you say pause and I don't pause it, I'm running.
Okay, I'll tell you what. Before you play it, go use the restroom and let's play it after because I'll need you to interact with it.
Okay, I'm going to let you run the show while I go do this.
All right. So how's everyone doing tonight? What did everybody think about Trump's rally tonight? Because I think he knocked it out of the park. It's over. I mean, the Dems can sit here and say what they want. I was trying to tell a guy, I was in a different live. I'm like, you don't even know who your candidate is going to be. And remember this, MAGA and Republicans, our candidate has been nominated. He survived all this crap. And so let the Dems kind of, I don't know what the right word is, but let them just kind of go crazy. But more importantly, I keep saying this on a lot of lives. Don't be complacent. You got to get out and vote. We don't have this in the bag. And the way I look at this is that we have to landslide them. That way there's no question. So make sure you vote. I've talked country about this. I've talked about everything, but don't get complacent because we don't know what the Dems are up to. And I hate to say that, but it's gotten out of hand.
Absolutely.
We're going to try. So make sure you vote. That's all I recommend. I don't advocate violence upon anyone or anything like that. Just make sure you vote. Make sure you're registered to vote. Vote. Even if you got to go down ballot. And I'm not a big down ballot guy, but it's we not only do we need to get Trump in, which I think is pretty much it's a guarantee. Mm-hmm. We got to take the Senate and we got to kick a bunch of these losers out of the House, the Dem side, Absolutely. So and stay local, evaluate who your sheriffs are, because that's the point we've gotten to.
And go to your convention estates. I don't know if you told them that. Go to www.conventionestates. Sign that petition. Sign it. Okay. I'll get this going.
Okay.
All right.
We're east of the riverbed. And we're taking fire from the west. Roger, stand by, we're popping smoke. Look for the smoke. It's going to be a red smoke. It's going to be a red smoke. Okay, got the red smoke. Sun runs north to south, west of the smoke, west of the smoke. Okay, copy. West of the smoke. I'm looking at danger close now. Roger, keep your fire west of the smoke. Commander's initials, Bravo, go. Keep the fucking fire west of the smoke. We have 3 smoke pops. Okay, copy that. I am visual to smoke.
Pause right there. All right. So they're on the same. We talked about this at length last night, country. We talked about being on the same channel, the same radio. All right. So I'll paint the situation for you. So you have a 2-ship of A-10s. This is on YouTube. Anybody can go look at it.
Mm-hmm.
The guy you're hearing. All right. So it's lead pilot, and he's got a number 2 because we always fly in formation. Basically, it might be loose formation or, whatever. The guy you're hearing that's kind of shouting on the ground, or he is shouting because they're in contact, what we call contact. So the guy you're hearing is the guy on the ground. That is what we call a JTAC. And so a joint terminal air controller. So he's controlling the fight essentially. And then, so the A-10 pilot in this case is trying to identify where, I'll call it the enemy.
Okay.
This was again Afghanistan, So what you're hearing right there is this is a true depiction of deconfliction, and that's what I understand about deconfliction. And this is what is not making sense to me about what happened with Trump, because these guys are talking. They might be under fire, but they're talking. And now the A-10 pilot, the hog pilot, and his number 2, they want to know exactly where the friendlies are. Where are, so go ahead. Thank you. I'll go ahead.
The smoke and west of the road. Roger, I see you. Oh, what is that? Give it to me. I get it. You're cleared hot. Copy, cleared hot. Stop, where's the smoke? You is visual. Copy to the west. Long range straight. Altitude. You got me right? That's it. Okay, make sure you got it. Go ahead, give it to me. Over.
Okay, pause, if you don't mind. Pause right there. You hear where he said, so the JTAC, the guy on the ground, is like, hey, we're about to move. Do I see you? Do you see me? And you hear the hog pilot say, I got you. Because you can actually just look down like, I see you. I see which way you're moving. Mm-hmm. And where's the threat? So I know, or this pilot, for example, he knows, all right, the JTAC is moving east and the threat is to the north. But it's what we call confirmation communication, confirmation communication. Okay. Right. So the A-10 pilot is thinking, I know what's going through his mind. And again, this is not me. But what he's thinking is, okay, which way are you moving? Okay, you're moving east and you want me to attack north and west. And listen when the JTAC is saying, like, keep your fire west of the river, or whatever what it is, what he said in there. He's saying keep your fire west of the river. And again, go ahead. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Hill, I need you. Come on, Hill. He's in hot from the north. Hill, same spot. Look for me. Keep him wet. All right, dude. Make it low angle strafe. I want it closer. 2. Okay, 1. I need it on the west hillside. The west bank. Just west. I need it on the west bank. Understand the west bank of the river? That bank on the west bank, it gives me Hill. Hill, give it to me in the grove. Okay, 1's in from the north. I've got the west bank of the river. 2's going to give it to you in the grove. Roger, give me that gun run. Right along that back, baby. In hot. Clear hot. Altitude. Hill, give me that in the grove.
Okay, pause. All right, so 2. So you got lead and you got 2, right? So when you hear 2, That is, you got a flight lead and you got 2. And so when you hear 2, whether it's the JTAC, which the JTAC does say it, he says it actually a few times. He's saying, I need it in the Grove. I need it in the Grove.
Mm-hmm.
But now at this point, they've already moved east. And so lead is telling 2, I need it low and strafe, or low and I can't remember what he said. I need it low and I know what he said, but
Right.
you know, so he's saying I need it low and straight and strafe. And then the JTAC says I need fire right now. And I'm trying to sum this up. And I do appreciate you putting this up, Country. I mean, I just wanted to give folks an idea of this is what actual deconfliction looks like, unlike what happened with Trump. But please go ahead. Okay, real quick, pause. So when he says 2, you're cleared hot, this guy is on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
That's the JTAC. They're under fire. And so when he says cleared hot, which is what we need, that's when he's saying, he's like, I need it in the Grove. I need it in the Grove. You're cleared hot, which means the gun goes. Go ahead. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Copy, work south. Give me some more smoke. We're moving. Which way? We're moving east. Give me the fire south of the Grove. Okay, understand south. 1, you're clear hot in the Grove.
All right, pause real quick. All right, see how he said? He said we're moving east, and I need fire west of the Grove, or you know, I don't have it all memorized, but he's like, and then the pilot confirms which way. Did you say you're moving east or south? And that can happen, but that goes back to that confirmation calm. Go ahead. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Altitude. Pull up. West side gun run, Phil. Phil, you're clear hot, Phil. Okay, understand West Bank, where I just strafed a couple passes ago? That's A-firm, Phil, you're clear hot. He's into the north, clear hot.
All right, pause real quick. It's kind of hard to distinguish. So what you're seeing right now, that picture, that actually sits down by your right knee or left knee. It depends on which kind of jet you're flying. And then when you see like the green stuff on the screen, that's what the pilot's seeing. But that's a laser. And so just to distinguish that difference, and there's a code in there and all that. Actually, the code's gone, but so what you're seeing right there, that's what the pilot's looking at. That's his laser. Like, where am I going to point the laser at? And 2 it's called a buddy laze. I don't know how this actual event went down, but that's called a buddy laze. But when you see the green bubbles, what you're seeing, and you can hear the pilot breathing because he's pulling G's and he's trying to listen to the JTAC, who continues to say, I need more fire, basically. Go ahead. Thank you.
Understand east of number 2's rounds. That's A-firm, just east of walk south, clear hot. Copy, cleared hot. One's in from the north. Confirm you're still moving east. Still moving east, clear hot.
Okay, pause. If you don't mind. You hear that? The pilot says, confirm you're still moving east.
Okay.
And the JTAC says, I'm moving east. Because, you know, again, deconfliction at its finest. Go ahead.
Moving north on the road. 2 is in on the ridge line to the southeast. Roger 2, right over my head, clear hot. All right, Massive, give me a smoke and give me a Willie Pete mark.
Pause real quick. Sorry, country. Pause real quick.
You're fine.
You hear how he says, the JTAC says, ridge line to my southeast. And then the pilot confirm, maybe if you could take it back about 20 seconds, he says, confirm ridge line to the southeast. And then the JTAC says, you're cleared hot, which means you can rip fire. Go ahead.
Okay, I'll try. I'll give you smoke. I don't know about Willie Pete.
Maybe a little further back, and then you can end the video. Maybe another.
All right, Massive, give me a smoke and give me a Willie Pete.
Maybe go 30 seconds back. Sorry.
Watch friendly vehicles moving north on the road. 2 is in on the ridge line to the southeast. Roger 2, right over my head, clear hot. All right, Massive, give me a smoke and give me a Willie Pete mark on where you want the next ones. Okay, I'll try. I'll give you smoke. I don't know about Willie Pete. I got 100 rounds.
Okay, so Willie Pete, that's a marker. It's a marker. That's good for the video. Thank you, country.
You're welcome.
I just wanted to display to your show what actual deconfliction looks like,
Perfect.
and especially when you're under fire. You know,
Well, you would be in constant contact, radio, whatever, and knowing exactly which direction this is. Where is the shooter? Where is the bullets coming from?
Correct.
Where are we at? That way you
Correct.
don't have pure chaos. I don't believe anything, which we haven't heard any of the radio except the 911 or a bit of it. But yeah, it just seems like there was no order, nothing. There was no order.
Yeah, it's like we were talking about last night, because I was asking you questions both in your show and then on your live later. I'm like, where was the command and control? Because, and I'm so happy. Thank you for bringing up that video. Again, just an example. That's how command and control actually works. Like, where are you? Where is the threat? You know, what are we doing? I guess it's kind of a little bit different because it's military. But, you know, even with LEO, it's kind of like, or security specialists, it's kind of like, hey, this is
serious.
It's very serious. Well, and the fact that we're talking about a former president of the United States. And we're talking about, like, in this case, I did do a little, I looked this case up. I actually talked to a friend of mine. He wasn't on that mission either. He knew a guy. He actually knew he knew Lead, and they ended up in a tick, and you got to troops in contact, and you got to figure things out really quick, kind of like in the Trump situation, and everybody had to figure out everything really quick. My point is, by you showing that video, I just wanted to show people, and again, I appreciate it. That's what actual deconfliction looks like. Where are you? Where's the threat? I'm going to move this way. I'm going to move that way. And then the JTAC says, I'm moving east. All right, confirm you're moving east. I'm moving east. And then it's like, okay, I see you. I don't know. I hope that helped her.
It did. But the thing that gets me is that there just was no order to our knowledge. I mean, as we saw on the one video, and I showed that same one last night in its entirety, they took off running before the first shot ever went. Before we heard anything, they took off running towards the water tower first. And you see them taking off towards the water tower. And then it was in the total, other direction. And then all the shots take place. And Trump was left unattended. I mean, totally unattended. Nobody was around him. He didn't even know. I have seen in other videos of other former presidents, and they've got Secret Service right there. Right there.
So I when I was in your live last night, I think you caught part of it. I had a very simple question. Very simple question. Whether it was 24 minutes and 11 seconds or 10 minutes, why was Trump let on that stage? And that was my point of sending you that video. Because if they were aware, whether it was Secret Service or these HSI people,
if it was a threat,
why did they let him on stage?
Because they knew an hour ahead, right? They knew an hour before he even got on stage that this person was a possible threat.
Right. And that's the part that I can't. That is probably, I got 1,000 questions about this, but
Or do they think if she just resigns, that's going to be enough?
I don't know. I mean, but my fundamental question is, if somebody knew, and this goes back to I call it C2, but command and control.
Right.
And again, to that video, okay, I know where you are, I know where they are, so on and so forth. Why did they let him on stage? If they knew there was even if the guy or the kid, whatever you want to call him, wasn't a threat, they probably should have let or not allowed Trump to come on stage.
Well, wasn't he an hour late anyway? And
he
then
was. Yes.
It was an hour late anyway, and then he got started. And then the threat, is it possible, maybe, this is a theory. This is not a fact. This is a theory that you just said that. He was there an hour late. They knew an hour before. Maybe some chatter was being talked about at some point, but then what if they said all clear? That would mean they would have given that person time to get what they needed to in order.
And that's my point. And these are all these unanswered questions.
Right.
I cannot for the life of me figure out how they let him up on stage. Again, like I said, on your live, and you were up there for that one on your TikTok live, I revealed the timeline. Or I didn't reveal it. It was on the New York Post. Even the New York Post says, well, 10 minutes prior, it was already being reported that there was a suspicious guy walking around. So immediately at that point, Secret Service or whoever, HSI, Homeland, they should have locked it down.
Absolutely.
Never let him out.
Absolutely.
Donald Trump, that is, until they determined, is this a real threat or is this just some, lunatic? And,
right.
And that's the part nobody can answer that question. Go ahead. Right. Thank you. I'm sorry. I'm kind of monologuing.
No, you're fine. You're fine. No, G-Pimp, I have, right now I have 4 accounts on there. I'm on 16.0 at the moment. You have to set your alert thing for it. Thank you, T Fields. It is interesting because there's, like you said, there's so many unanswered questions. And the Biden administration stated that the American people don't need to know. They have no right to know. Absolutely, we do. Absolutely, we do. So, what are they hiding to prevent us from knowing so much? Because, I mean, you send, and even the police officers, local law enforcement, LA, they themselves have came back and said, look, you're not laying this pretty much on them, not word for word, but they pretty much are saying, you're not going to blame this on us. We were not given any orders outside of just traffic. That is what you told local law enforcement to do because they would be in the way.
All right. I don't have the receipt on me, but I did look at this today too. When it comes to a president or former president, I'm not talking about a vice president, a senator, whatever. The Secret Service is the command and control. They are the ones in charge.
They are. I mean, come on. Everybody was like, and I had a couple of people in the live saying, well, you really think that this wasn't just a setup? No, I do not. I do not. Not for a second.
Yeah,
and it angers me.
The protection of a president and or former president is all under it's all under the Secret Service, which falls under the DHS, which is then Mayorkas.
And then James, he was in the live a minute ago, and he says, well, do you really want a president that would put himself out there like that? Abso-freaking-lutely, I do. Abso-freaking-lutely, I do. Because first off, he is guided by the Secret Service to let him know it is safe or not. He is told if there is a high threat or probability of there being a threat, well, we shouldn't do this, Mr. President. Just like at the RNC the other night. They thought there was a viable threat there. They escorted him out, let him know, hey, it's time to go. And he walked away. The same applies to the rallies. Every bit of it. The president looks to vice president, former presidents, vice presidents. They look to the Secret Service. Why do you think they're given Secret Service after they leave office? Do you think it's just there as a pretty thing for them to just have with them? No, because they are still threatened even after they leave office.
Well, if you look at, that's a great point. If you look at Trump didn't start a new war, but what did he do? He killed the leader of ISIS, and he killed Soleimani. I mean, he didn't, we did, but that's why former presidents have Secret Service, because there are threats on their life,
right? Continuously, even thereafter. Yeah. Secret Service was part of it. Shit, they were the head of the snake. Exactly. And we're starting to learn a little bit more here and there about this. But here is a video of Pennsylvania Senator Bob Casey and what he has to say about Secret Service.
And are you concerned at all about the ability for the Secret Service to do its job effectively and protect candidates, in light of the fact that this shooter was able to undetected be on this roof?
Well, I'm not concerned that they don't have the expertise and the resources, and if they need more resources, they should come to us.
They should come to them if they need more resources. Well, from my understanding, Trump asked for more resources by Secret Service. He did that. He did what he was supposed to have done, but he was told no. And everything needed to go to Miss Jill's campaign for her husband, since he isn't a viable candidate to even get up and go do his own damn campaigns. He did ask for further. He did ask for more security. He's always asked for more security. I mean, just recently, RFK just got security. He was turned down. And the only reason why he got it is because this situation took place and Trump himself requested that he believed he should have security. And now he has Secret Service security. This is a bunch of shit is what it is. They knew exactly what they were doing. Exactly what they were doing. I agree with you, Jen. Well, Tucker wanted to talk, and he wanted to explain what he believes this has done for the election since the attempted assassination.
I find it thrilling.
Tucker, the past 24 hours has been wild, the amount of news that has come out. How did the attempted assassination on former President Donald Trump change this election?
Well, Trump won when that happened because he displayed physical courage. And, you know, if you live in a society where people are literally dating by remote, virtually, and working virtually, you can kind of lose touch with the physical reality of life. But the unchanging truth is that leadership requires courage, and not just abstract courage, moral courage, but physical courage. You know, someone starts shooting a rifle. Like, are you going to wet yourself and start crying and run away? Or are you going to stand up and look at your people and raise your fist and say fight? And very few people are capable of doing that. And he is. And therefore he wins. Because that supersedes all this nonsense that we talk ourselves into believing is important. No, the guy got shot in the face. He stood up with blood streaming down the side of his head, blood on his hands, and said, fight. Totally defiant. That's an act of undeniable courage that was not staged. You couldn't stage that. And that man is the leader. And he wins. And by the way, notice what happens to everyone in the crowd. When a leader is strong, his people are calm. His courage gives them heart. That's true for a father, and it's true for a president. So yeah, he just won, and he deserves to win. Like that was the ultimate test.
I agree with that. I love that video, Tucker. Absolute truth right there. Absolute freaking truth. We have a Democrat. He's an ex-Democrat, a young ex-Democrat, and he wants his message to get out.
A Democrat until 2020, and I want to invite anybody who still is on that side of the fence to sincerely consider whether being a Democrat is serving you well. On an individual level, just think of the mindset difference between Democrats and Republicans. Think of a Democrat rally. It is a bunch of speeches of people complaining, of people telling you you should be jealous of people who are more successful than you, of people demanding more government handouts, of people hating this country, of hating our history, of people wanting to divide you along lines of race, class, and sexuality. And now think of a Republican rally. A bunch of people, thousands, chanting USA, USA in unison because they love this country. They love the opportunity that exists here. Instead of wanting a government handout, they want that opportunity. They want the government to get out of the way so they can make a way for themselves. They don't want to divide people along lines of race, class, sexuality. They want everybody to unite as Americans. Just think of the difference in mindset there and just how that affects your day-to-day life when you have a mindset of jealousy and complaining versus gratitude and pride.
Spoken like a true American, not a Republican, not a Democrat, just an American. Spoken like a true American.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry,
No, you go ahead. Go ahead. That's all I was saying.
No, I was just going to say, I mean, what Tucker said and what that TikTok creator said. I mean, it's like, I can understand the frustration with people. I mean, I don't know who they are, but whoever they are, they actually tried. I mean, I have my suspicions, but they tried to kill the man. This is how bad it has gotten.
Yeah.
And I understand, like when I was on your live last night, I understand it. I mean, the more I'm thinking about it, I mean, I'm in that kind of like,
that's why it infuriated me whenever they spoke it. And I'd already said, look, I'm setting a boundary. Don't want you coming in here stating things like that, period. But they love to gaslight, and I fell for the gaslight. But I felt at the same time that I have to stand for my beliefs. I have to stand for what I believe in. Just as much as what they believe in, I stand for what I believe in. I do want us to unify. But there are just some that I'm done. I'm done trying to get through to them. I'm just going to set the tone, set the stage. If they want to follow, they can. If they don't want to follow, that's their choice. At the end of the day, they have free will to choose which direction they want to go in at that moment. And that's the way it is. I had recorded Rosie O'Donnell. We had live last night. And I recorded that one video I played last night. I didn't get to watch the whole thing of this one because I was on the live, but they were in discussion about Biden, them hiding it for so long, and that he needs to resign. But then she goes on her kick about the Republicans.
Various considerations at this point, because it's a terrifying concept to think they have written in plain language for anyone to read the fascist manifesto.
That's how you know they're going to do it. They're going to put it through. They don't give a shit.
And look what they did to the Supreme Court. So,
yeah, I know.
There we are.
I know.
But
and
listen, here's what I want.
If you guys go watch her lies, I swear, some of the shit that comes out of this woman's mouth, she doesn't have a lick of sense. Not a lick of freaking sense about what America's about, what being American is about. It's a narrative that they push continuously. And I'm sick of it. We're going to jump to a whole nother topic at this point. The DNC is getting ready to have their convention. What is it, the 19th through the 23rd, I think?
Yeah, August 19th through August 23rd. But they have, that was that chart I was explaining yesterday. Mm-hmm. They got a problem with Ohio because they didn't make some sort of a deadline.
Yeah, he didn't go in person.
Now they have to have this virtual vote. Yeah. So if you back the timeline up, they got about 2 weeks to make a decision. That is my read of it.
Well, the DNC National Convention, what have they been housing there this whole time? And in a hotel that they built, that's a brand new hotel. They've been housing illegal immigrants, right? Take a look at this. They cleaning it up. Why? Because the DNC is coming.
It's a historic spot here, Terry.
Yes. So, smell the Tootsie Rolls over there, Tootsie Roll Factory. White Castle's headquarters is over there. I grew up, this is my neighborhood. Ford City Mall is over there. And then we're going to see the new immigration center per the security guards last week. They would make aircraft parts during World War II here. This whole thing, it became Ford City Mall. But the Tootsie Roll manufacturer and some of these plants were converted during World War II to help support the military.
So these facilities that were used to help support the military, now right next to them, hotels being used to invite the invasion into America.
Think about it, yeah. The destruction of America. Saving America to the destruction of America.
It's crazy. Ah, okay. So we got the tables set up. So you got the illegal alien intake. Look at this nice hotel. Wow. That's beautiful.
They're all set up in there, man.
I know. Look at that's a brand new hotel. All right, guys, this is insane. So here with Terry Newsom, and so they're getting ready. Just explain this, Terry. They're getting ready for the DNC convention. And so in order to save face, they're moving illegals out of downtown Chicago to places like this.
Yeah, it's so this was just announced quickly. I know people from the neighborhood, this is where I grew up, they're not happy. They weren't told about it. This thing's being converted to an illegal immigration center. I got in there last week. There was 4 guards there and another guy, and they came out in front of me right here. And the woman, I said, "Is it?" And she chuckled and said, "No, it's an immigration center." And what's different from the other locations that we've been to is they have Arabic now in some of the language here. Look at here, they're telling them, have your ID ready, empty all your pockets, place item in the bin, and enter the metal detector one at a time. Why? If these are innocent asylum seekers, why are they going through metal detectors when they're going to be?
Why would you need metal detectors?
Putting them up in these quarters for, we're paying for them to come here. And they can't even be trusted to go and put their heads down to sleep with their innocent families and children because they're bringing weapons in.
That's insane. I love this how it says entrance, but not for you.
Yeah.
Not for American citizens.
Yeah.
Only for illegals. So this really irritates me too because I travel a lot for work. And
the security down here.
yeah, I travel a lot for work and I use Holiday Inn a lot. I'm actually have status with Holiday Inn, but now Holiday Inn is basically sold out. This is a brand new facility, and shame on Holiday Inn. They've sold out to Biden's regime and now turned this brand new Holiday Inn that customers could use, but now they can't. So if you're flying into Midway, you can't use this brand new Holiday Inn. Why would you need all of these vehicles? How many people are employed here? Talk about money. Just the amount of money that's going into illegal immigration is incredible.
Okay, this is all brand new.
Wow. So they retrofitted this entire thing specifically for illegals. This really irritates me. So brand new building out here, brand new Holiday Inn, just built, and now they're taking it because Democrats have invited the invasion into our country. They're taking it and converting it to an illegal alien shelter.
See, I better hold it this way. So
It's just sick.
Yeah,
Is that who it's through?
They're in my FOIAs as well, with Catholic Charities.
Oh, so they're one of the NGOs?
Yeah, that's who those guys are. You gotta come up here with the glare.
Well, looky there.
Okay, country, can I ask you two questions?
Sure.
When he's showing that what's on the sign that's in Arabic, can you redo that one? Let me read it, if you don't mind.
So historic spot here, Terry.
Yes. So, smell the Tootsie Rolls over there, Tootsie Roll Factory. White Castle's headquarters is over there.
What I might can do is just load it into the Telegram. I think I have it in there, and then I can use it as to pause it.
You know what? I won't do it on tonight's show. You and I can talk offline about it. There was a symbol on there that had me a little bit concerned. It was
Oh,
right
really?
below. It was
Well, hang
right
on.
below.
I can play it. I have it on my Telegram. I can do that, and I'll be able to control it from there. Let me pull it up.
So historic spot here, Terry.
Yes. So, smell the Tootsie Rolls over there, Tootsie Roll Factory. White Castle's headquarters is over there. I grew up, this is my neighborhood.
I'll see if I can fast forward it to what spots.
Okay, right there. All right.
Okay. Can you make it out?
It's kind of hard from the video.
Take a screenshot.
What is that? What is that sign? Okay, so that top sign that's in white, and then there's a sign right underneath that. What does that say?
Hang on a minute, and I'll screenshot it, and we can do it. I don't know. You might be able to screenshot the thing.
I mean, if anything, I'll go check it out.
Well, I'd like to know what symbol you may have saw that was a little. I can get it. Hang on. Oh, let's see. I can't pull it up to where it would be visible because of what the way
It's fine. It's fine.
megapixels in it.
Country, if you could send that, because that was on TikTok, right?
Yeah, I have it on Telegram.
If
You can always
send that to me. If you can send that to me,
Okay.
because, I know a bunch of people from the UAE. I have a feeling. I have a feeling about what I'm seeing. I don't want to say it on your show right about what I'm seeing. I've seen that symbol before,
Okay.
so it's hard to make out. But if you can send me that video, I don't like what I saw on that sign.
Thank you, Pimp Daddy.
I'll leave it at that.
We'll find out. We'll let you guys know exactly what he feels that he saw at that moment. Would it be a very concerning symbol?
So it's hard for me to make an assessment at this moment, but it's
if someone could go to Telegram and go to that video and maybe screenshot it and enlarge it, and maybe send it to me if you don't care.
Yeah, it resembled something I saw a few years back. I'll leave it at that.
Okay.
I
have
not seen that video since you brought it up.
We've got some digital soldiers that are really good.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
get to it.
Okay.
They're really good.
Good
They
deal.
get to it.
Good deal.
They're
Thank
really
you.
good.
So,
Yeah.
so if you don't mind, I'll table my comment
Perfect.
until I can actually see it. But
Fair.
then I think I know what I saw.
Okay.
So I'll leave it at that for right now. I table.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Sounds like a plan. Sounds like a plan. I was trying to find. I think I already watched that part of the video.
And if anybody could, the sign that was below, so there was a sign that it was in white paper and it was all in Arabic. And then right below that, there was another sign. I want to know what that says too.
I'm sure they'll screenshot it and they'll send us every little bit of it. I'm trying to find this one video. This
All
is
right.
a lady.
If you guys don't mind, send it to Country and then Country can send it to me and
Will
we go
do.
from there. Thank you.
Will do. I'm going to download this video and we'll upload it. It just takes a minute to load these things. You couldn't figure it out either. I have the original, so I'll probably just need to go to the original and then screenshot it because I had to downsize that one at that moment. Okay, I'll check it. Okay, let me download this. This might be a little bit better. I don't know. Might be a little bit clearer. Hang on. Thank you. Let's see. Just takes a minute to load it. We'll get it. Thank you. Thank you, Amy. I appreciate it. Let's see. Can you read that? You're muted. You're muted.
On the white paper, you know what? I'm going to text you what I think. Don't reveal it.
Okay.
But I think, and I think I know what I've seen it before.
Okay.
Here comes a text, one-on-one, just me and you. Don't
Okay.
reveal it yet until I can confirm.
Okay. Grandma sent another one too, so I will check it out and see. Okay, I'll let you confirm that. Wow.
Yeah. Give me a chance to confirm it. Give me 24 hours, but I
Okay.
think what it means. Thank you.
You're welcome. But to do that in plain sight, if it is right, that's wow. I'll check Grandma. Grandma says that she thinks. Grandma, did you put it on Telegram or did you message it to me?
In Country again, I want to confirm it.
I
So
get
that's
you.
why I'm not going to do it on your show. But
Come on, Grandma, tell us what is your hypothesis of what is. No, this is something that would have to be confirmed and have the receipt to back up. You send it straight to my messages. Okay.
yeah. I don't want to say I'll give you people a hint. It's the stuff we've been hearing about America. I'll just leave it at that. I'll leave it at that.
Well, here, Grandma, I'm going to send you what Grandma sent me and you look at it. I just messaged it to you. You look at that and check it out. But there was a backpack. Miss Marianne was nice enough to send it to me. He did have a backpack. So there's the backpack. Now, Elon Musk had a picture I showed the other night where there was 2 areas of it that were kind of taped off with black tape. Maybe it meant the backpack and then the shooter. I'm not sure. Can you make that one out better, Gravel?
No, it's a little blurry.
I've got the original video because see, I have to shrink them when I do a 16:9 frame.
Yeah.
So when I do the original, you guys are on receipts. I appreciate it. Absolutely. We won't show something unless we have the receipts for it. And if we say we don't know for sure, and we'll say this.
Yeah, and I'm going to confirm. I'm going to confirm what I just saw on that sign with some of my. I know people in the UAE. I know people. I'm. If you're okay with it, country, I'm not going to.
Absolutely, we need to know.
Yeah,
that's.
I'm going to confirm what I just saw, just to double check, and I'm not gonna say something if I don't have the receipt. But you got my text. I think you know what it means.
All right, stay tuned, guys. We will let you definitely know. We will let the world know it is what it is. Zuckerberg the other day, he had a nice little news conference with someone, and this is what he had to say about Trump. Now he's always been a big Biden supporter, donator. Push the propaganda, ads, you name it, he's done it. But this is what he says now.
Stuff personally in the past. I'm not planning on doing that this time. And that includes, not endorsing either of the candidates. Now, look, there's obviously a lot of crazy stuff going on in the world. The historic events over over the weekend. And, on a personal note, it's, seeing Donald Trump get up after getting shot in the face and pump his fist in the air with the American flag is one of the most badass things I've ever seen in my life. But look, it's, and I think, look, it's, at some level as an American, it's like hard to not get kind of emotional about that spirit and that fight. And I think that's why a lot of people like the guy.
He's like completely just like, I'm not voting for neither one, but damn, Trump was a badass.
I was actually surprised. I was surprised to hear him say that.
I was too. Definitely.
You know, just by that statement alone, whether he said he's going to, I think he said he's, I guess, agnostic or he's not going to support one candidate or the other. We don't even know if it's going to be Biden. For him to say that, I got to be honest with you, country. I think he probably just pulled now the youth over to Trump.
Because there's exactly. And maybe that was his way of supporting someone, but not supporting someone. But him per se, personally, not supporting, but maybe putting others in the right direction of certain things. At the end of the day.
Like passive aggressive.
Correct.
And just for the record, it was, I don't know, like a month and a half ago, something, or maybe last couple of weeks, I don't know. Facebook and Insta, or Meta, I'll call it Meta, they restored Trump's accounts.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so that happened a few weeks ago. It was
Daddy says he's a Trumper now.
I think he is. I think everybody's becoming a Trumper now. Yeah.
Well, let's get this video. We just got to show this one. I think. Let's see. Let me make sure I've got it running. Let's pull it up here. This is what America's fixing to do.
I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready.
Based on what happened last Saturday, based on the RNC convention the RNC, and based on Trump's speech tonight, it's going to be a landslide. And I ask all my MAGA people or all the MAGA people, just let the Democrats implode. Live your life, go on. You know, we can sit here and we can make fun of them, which I plan on doing pretty much every day. Let them implode and, you know, just don't do anything. No J6, no anything like that. The Democrats, they dug their own grave. You know, I mean, we have a nominee.
Right.
We have President Trump. The Republican Party is united, probably for the first time in a lot of years, minus the rhinos. But we have a candidate. The Democrats don't even know who they're going to vote for. So everybody, take care of your kids. Like I said, get your popcorn and just sit back and watch this shit show. Sorry.
That's what I call it too, is shit show. Well, Trump discussed Project 2025. Here lately, the last few weeks, they've been trying to put that project on Trump. Now, his is Project 47, and they are trying to say he is part of Project 2025. No, he is not. Hear it from himself. Hear it from what he has to say about it.
And you know, the other side's going around trying to make me sound extreme, like I'm an extremist. I'm not. I'm a person with great common sense. I'm not an extremist at all. Like some on the right, severe right, came up with this Project 25, and I don't even know. I mean, some of them I know who they are, but they're very, very conservative, just like you have. They're sort of the opposite of the radical left, okay? You have the radical left and you have the radical right, and they come up with this, I don't know what the hell it is. It's Project 25. He's involved in Project, and then they read some of the things and they are extreme. I mean, they're seriously extreme, but I don't know anything about it. I don't want to know anything about it, but what they do is misinformation and disinformation.
I can't help it. I got to show her comment. I've definitely got to show my T's comment. She said, I'd crawl over broken glass and burnt coals to vote for Trump again. And legs.
You know what? You know what, Jenna? Based on what
Jen said that. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was Jenna that said that. You know what, Jenna? If my kids were old enough to vote, based on what they saw last Saturday, they would feel that they can't vote yet, but they feel the same way. We completely flipped it. We had to be patient and continue to be patient. Please, just make sure you vote. And like what OG was saying, we have to overwhelm this vote like Trump landslide. And I agree with what OG was saying. I mean, overwhelm it. If you see something questionable with your vote or your polling station or whatever, call it out, film it, put it up on TikTok. You guys get a hold of me or reach me. I'll put it out there too. We are a family. We are a MAGA family, and we got to get this shit fixed. We can never let this happen again.
No, it cannot. It cannot. That's why it's got to be set up to where thereafter, because this, I never thought I would see it. I never thought I'd see such stuff. But this is how crazy it's getting too.
Tussling over a barricade with an NYPD officer. This photo shows Zwang opening her mouth, the NYPD says, to bite Deputy Chief of Patrol Frank DiGiacomo. This is the injury he suffered from that bite, according to the NYPD.
Councilwoman Zhang has been a great partner with the New York City Police Department for a long time. But the actions today of assaulting one of our police officers, Deputy Chief, by biting him viciously in the arm, I can't explain it right now.
Zwang was arrested and charged with second and third degree assault, both felonies, and resisting arrest. She was arraigned tonight and released, but refused to explain what happened.
The councilwoman is not going to speak. We have advised her not to talk about the events of this morning. As I said,
Susan Zwang tussling over.
Why is that lady wearing a mask? What the hell? Jesus Christ.
Oh, I got a better one. This is what our world has come to. Papa sent this to me earlier. No, I'm not going to play anymore. But that is what our freaking...
Yeah, AK asked who bites someone. AK, I don't know. Like a crazy left.
I can't with these people anymore. I just can't. I'm just at this point where did your... What? It is disgusting. But what? I'm kind of embarrassed to even show the video.
Yeah, OG, you're right. And that's what I'm trying to tell people. Just keep your head on a swivel. Let the Democrats figure out their crap, which they probably won't be able to. We got our nominee, and just sit back, get your popcorn, watch some Netflix or whatever, Apple TV, and just watch. Trump is in. There's no question about that.
Amy, that was killer.
Make sure you vote and get into your local elections.
Yes,
your local state, your local and state elections. Make sure you vote on your sheriff too. If you don't like the sheriff, get rid of them.
I'll have to ask Paul. He said it to me earlier, and I'll ask him. It was that was somewhere around here. I'm thinking he said it was California, truthfully, which that would explain the shit out of that.
It probably, when I was watching that, I was thinking that guy. I was thinking, God, that's got to be California. I actually grew up in Southern California.
Oh Lord!
I was
you
in
got
the
out. You got out.
I was in the OC, which is actually still pretty
right.
Republican, between Huntington Beach, Newport, and whatnot. But what I see in California is not the California I grew up in. That's all I can say about that. But
absolutely,
Here's
a video of Joe Biden. Him and the Obamas, I don't believe they get along, do they? But this is him way back when, and this is what he had to say about Obama.
I know Barack got tested for AIDS. There's no shame in being tested for AIDS. It's an important thing because the fact of the matter is and the community's engaged in denial. They're engaged in denial. No one wants to talk about it in the community, and we do not have enough leaders in the community and outside the community demanding we face the reality, confront the men in the community as well as the women, letting them know there are alternatives.
Thank you.
Travis, I just got to make clear, I got tested with Michelle. When we were in Kenya and Africa, so I don't want any confusion here about what's going on.
And I got tested to save my life because I had 13 pints of blood
with my wife.
And I'm sure Michelle appreciates you clarifying.
In public.
Have you ever seen that one before?
No, that was new to me. It's becoming a comedy show, country.
It is, and you
Really?
got to. I mean, we've been hitting this hard for years now, and feet to the pavement, digging and bringing out everything. So yeah, you got to find a little bit of comedy in it because it will drive you crazy. It sure will. It will drive you crazy. And being with Mike. I can't confirm
and
that.
that's
I can't confirm that.
And that's what I'm telling all my MAGA peeps. Just keep your cool. Don't do a not that you would, but don't do a J6 thing. They're gonna completely implode. Just live your life and watch this whole thing, the Democrat Party, completely explode.
Right.
That's
That was
all I can say.
I think, wasn't that when he was, I believe that was when that he and Obama were running for president, vice president. Then it was a debate. You saw the little Hillary up there. She did that. But I want to play the 3-minute Trump video. This one gave me chills last night. The brothers who did this video, you guys outdid yourself.
Is this okay? Real quick for context, is this from today or is this from the RNC? Just so I got my bearings.
No. This is a video that these brothers put together and made themselves.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
This is a private video that they made that they placed out. Very good. But here we go.
I believe in God. I believe in the Bible. I'm a Christian. I have a lot of reasons. I love people. And our country needs a savior right now, and our country has a savior. And it's him with somebody much higher up than me. Much higher up. We just do what we have to do. But the life and death and resurrection of Jesus Christ forever changed the world. It's impossible to think of the life of our own country without the influence of his example and of his teachings. A miraculous founding, overcoming civil war, and the United States ultimately becoming a truly great nation. We're not going to let it go. But none of this could have ever happened without Jesus Christ and his followers and his church. None of it. And we have to remember that Jesus Christ is the ultimate source of our strength and of our hope. Let us thank Almighty God for our nation, for our precious freedoms, and our most of all, and I have to say this, for the gift of God's everlasting mercy and grace. We ask God to bless our nation and our people with faith and hope and love and peace.
However, there is an uncovering of great evil. I will start from the top. I have shaken the Democrats and will shake the Republicans even more. But remember, when these tremors and when these tumultuous moments happen, Summer says, I will take it so that the fall can do its work in America. Princes of darkness and demonic powers are raging for these two extremely wicked terror organizations to be pierced with the sword of the Lord. Summer, take it. For thus says the Lord, I will prosper my people. And during the fall there shall be many that shall fall, and many that shall rise from the dust. The earth is standing prepared. I shall take it, for the summer shall bring forth much in thee. Temperatures, strange July, hypnotic November. And oh, Christmas, where winter shall say, and me, I will make them happy.
Oh, yes. Very powerful. It brings my tears to my eyes when I watch that video. Very powerful. Well, guys, that is the end of our show. I want to say again, thank you guys for joining us. Gravel will return momentarily, hopefully. Very strange July, yes. But we will, you're muted.
I'm
But
here.
we-
I was listening to it.
Okay, but we will have a tremendous November and Christmas. So
Oh yeah,
everyone
just
may
everybody
think
be
it-
cool. Let the Democrats destroy themselves.
Yep.
And like I said, get back your popcorn and go from there. Just
Absolutely.
we have our nominee. It's going to be Trump. Trump is going to win, and just make sure you're voting local. Vote,
Yes.
vote, vote. That's all I got to say.
Yep.
It's not in the bag yet, but vote. That's the most important thing you can do.
I'm glad you liked it, OG Fan Daddy. But everyone, thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate. Hey, Jenna, Amy, OG Pimp, Grandma's in here, Christy. So many people, and everyone that's on YouTube and on X. I want you to know that we appreciate you and keep the fight going. Go to Convention Estates, www.conventionestates.com. Go sign it. It's very important. Get to know your sheriffs and start local. He's right about that. We have to start local. That is the way. It really is. But with that,
Yep,
grab one again. Thank
absolutely.
you.
We love our country. We
Yes.
love our country, and Trump is going to. He's got so many people that support him. Just don't listen to the rhetoric that the left is going to give out, because even tonight's speech, they're probably going to come out tomorrow and say this and that. Just don't even listen to it. Honestly, that's all I can really say.
Yeah, don't listen to it.
Let them use their minds and make sure you vote. If you can poll, if you can be a campaign watcher, go from there. We cannot let this happen again, ever. Not for our great nation.
And even if his poll numbers are up, and they're trying to come out with different polls now saying Biden is ahead. Okay, guys, don't believe that shit. Okay,
Don't believe any of it. Don't
go
believe any of it.
go vote as if his numbers aren't even there. Go vote as if that is the candidate you choose to vote for. But we have to turn out and we have to vote. Don't pay attention to these numbers, because it could be a psyop as well at times of where to make you believe something in order. I'm not saying it's not. I'm sure his numbers are up there. But my point is, vote as if, well, it is life or death. That's what it is. It boils down
Yeah,
to that. It is
we've
life or
gotten to
death.
that point. And country, as always, sweetheart. Are you going on live tonight?
Yeah, I'm already live. I've been sitting here. I'm live now.
Okay. All right. Cool. I'll catch up with you in a few.
Okay.
Love the comments. Love the panel. I'll catch up with you guys. Country is always a great show. Thank you for, as always, having me up as a guest.
Really appreciate
Whatever
it.
I can provide and
You bring
get-
so much.
get MAGA. We're there. We're there. We won. So
But vote as if we have not.
correct.
Don't get complacent and don't get to where, okay, let's sit. No. This is just beginning, guys. The fight hasn't even started yet. You think
Yep.
it has, but it has not even started yet. We still got to get to November. We still have to get.
Yeah, and if anybody's calling you any names like the racist or white Christian nationalist or a Nazi or fascist, or just ignore it. Ignore it. Don't let it get under your skin. Just
Right.
realize they're a bunch of idiots and just don't even listen to it.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So love you guys all. Thank you,
Love
country.
you guys all.
sweetie.
Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate it. And with that, guys, we'll be back here tomorrow night, 10 p.m. Eastern. Can't wait to see you guys back there again. And as always, have a blessed Sunday. Be safe. And country crazy out.